Hi there. Sorry to return to SRE so quickly after we left it behind, but I just wondered, Nicky specifically, how, I heard what you said and I heard all the sort of flanelling around why the Conservatives refuse to make this commitment, and I'm just finding it really difficult to understand how they can justify leaving generations now of children without any help. These kids, I have a lot to do with everyday sex, and these kids are in the shit. They don't know their arses from their elbows when it comes to consent, when it comes to porn. They're learning about sex from ways that, I haven't looked at it, and I'm sure, you're not going to tell me you have. But it's just extraordinary to me that we're not, that this is becoming a party issue. I don't understand. Why is it? It's not about big government. Obviously, not all parents are going to be able to have those conversations. Obviously, you talk to any teenage children, they don't want to talk about porn with the mum and dad. So what are we doing? We're sowing the wind. Mm-hmm. We are sowing the wind with a generation of kids, and we're leaving them in the lurch, and we're making it a party issue. And I think it's absolutely disgraceful approaching an election that we can't force this issue and just make it a cross-party and help these children and help us. They're growing up, not understanding the difference. That doesn't, it's not just going to affect young people, it's going to affect all of us. Thank you.
Well, look, that's the whole point about having a debate like this tonight, is actually people putting forward their views, and you will think about what I've said and what the others have said when you're casting your ballot, whether it's by post or by person on May the 7th. And I don't think it is. I mean, there is going to be, bound to be, differences of opinions. I mean, education, one of the things I've learned since last July is that everybody has a view on education. Everybody has a view about what schools should be teaching, how they should be teaching it, the conversations they should be having with young people. But I don't think it is. I mean, we've been obviously in government for the past 5 years, and Yvette's party had a chance to do this for 13 years before that. And I do very much believe that actually, even if you make things, as I say, compulsory, it doesn't mean that they're done well. And I would much rather say to people, like going to Eastbourne Academy, as I did a couple of weeks ago, where they call it Sphere, their PSHE lessons, and they are inspirational. I'd much rather say, this is a great school, this is what you can do, this is how you do it really, really well, this is how you equip teachers, this is how, and they celebrated LGBT History Month, and they'd have that running right the way throughout the school, all the different classes, all the different teachers. That's how you do it well, not just because I sit in Whitehall and say something is statutory and it has to be done. Consent, we published the guidance last week. It's really, really good. And absolutely, it's got great lesson plans in it. That's the PSHE Association. We're backing it. Teresa and I have written the forward to it and saying this is actually how we think it can be taught really, really well, and the conversations that you will have from it. So I'm not saying that it's not important, but I am saying that just because you say in Whitehall it's something is to be done, it doesn't happen really well everywhere. And actually, I'd much rather give people the tools to have that conversation, have great speakers, get in and inspire our young people, both boys and girls.